with our 17 P tier and our 26 P tier compact excavators. Our 17P here actually has almost 25% engine horsepower increase. Sounds astounding, I know, but we're only talking a little under 20 horsepower. But the reason I bring it up is because the name of the game here with these new excavators that we're starting to transition, starting with 17 and 26, then we'll move our way up the portfolio over the next year or two. The name of the game here is faster controls, faster cycle times, and specifically more breakout force on the tools that contact the ground. So think of your buckets and your attachments, things of that nature. So on this model, more horsepower, a little more breakout force across the portfolio. It's going to make this machine very, very productive. Now the reason we chose to launch this at the Utility Expo is because this machine often gets put in kind of a landscape segment. It's easy to operate, it's easy to transport. Landscape's great for this, but underground utilities are actually really, really popular for these size classes too. Whether it's residential plumbing, telecom, all of that things where you're not going very deep, but it needs to be very, very easy to transport with one truck, one trailer, machine, attachments, everything all on one truck. That's why these machines come in handy. Another really unique feature on the 17, and we've had this for years, is the expandable and retractable undercarriage. So the way this works is right now we're at about 51 inches wide. And if you think of trying to get to like a backyard for access or putting some drain tile around a foundation, getting in those tight, narrow pathways, even just between tight lot lines, really helps this machine by being able to retract the undercarriage down to 39 inches and get through that gate. And then once we're in the backyard, for example, we can expand it back out for maximum stability and get to work. So a feature we've had for a while, something we maintain even with the new machines. But if we start to walk around the machine a little bit, I'm just going to start here at our bucket and coupler. We've got a new mechanical coupler that's standard on every machine that we offer. This new fixed pin mechanical coupler does really easy attachment changes without the use of tools. So you're more than welcome to come this way if you'd like to see it better, or I can do it over there. But all this is just one pin. This draw pin comes out, the bucket comes off, and you just pin a new attachment on. So really exciting there. The other thing that we're really focused on with our compact excavators on these, as well as the other ones that will transition soon, is attachment versatility. Excavators and attachments go hand in hand like never before, and the attachments are getting more and more complex. So just like our previous models, we've got one set of auxiliary lines down to the end of the boom, and on the 26, they actually come down a little further to a selector valve. So one set of aux lines, we've been doing that forever. Now we can actually get an additional set of auxiliary lines from the factory to give operators that choice, or those customers the choice based on the attachments that they're needing. Now, those two aux lines could be used for complex attachments, not necessarily a tilt or rotate, but something with two hydraulic functions, or thumbs are really popular on these machines too, and they all come standard with thumb mounting brackets on them. So you could have one set of aux lines dedicated to your thumb, so it never has to be, unhooked and rehooked. It just stays consistently plumb. And the second set could be used if you need a hammer or a compactor or another hydraulic attachment. It just makes that operator's life a little bit easier when they don't have to go out, swap hoses, manually fight that. Sometimes pressure can be an issue. They don't have to worry about that. The other thing is in the backfill blade. So standard backfill blade is going to be standard on every machine, just like they have been. What's new for our new excavators is blade float. So previously, blade float was always tied to an angle blade option. Now we can get it even on the standard, just up and down two-way blade is what we would call that. Why is that important? Well, when you think about trenching and then burying whatever you put in the ground, and then you got to clean it up and make it presentable for your customer or that property owner, that's where float really comes into play. They can put the blade in float, back drag really quick and easily. They have to throw some seed down to make the grass come back after they did their work. That's where that's going to help that operator be very, very efficient. Now inside the cab, we talked about those auxiliary hydraulics, and what's really nice is this knob under the armrest is the flow control. So let's say I have a thumb, and based on my preference, if I'm the operator or the work that I'm doing, maybe that thumb is moving too fast, or I need it to move fast because I'm, say, trying to get a stump away from the machine or something. I need that thumb to react at the speed I need it. This knob works just like a volume knob. Turn it to the right, the attachment's going to get faster. Turn it to the left, the attachment's going to slow down. It's going to give that operator the ability to customize the performance of the machine on the fly. The other thing with this is we've got standard JD-Link telematics from the factory now. So our previous models were all JD-Link ready, plug and play dealer installed kit, but we've taken that one step further to make it easier. So we're installing that hardware from the factory now. That way when the customer takes delivery, the dealer can quickly set them up with an operations center account and they can hit the ground running. Both of these models, as we come over to this one, we've actually got what we're calling aux 2, which is the second set of auxiliary lines on this. But both of these machines, we can also get standard or long arm options. And when it comes to compact excavators, a little more dig depth or a little more reach never hurts. So even if you're not maximizing the machine, when you have more reach and more capability with that long arm option, which is going to give you between models roughly 7 to 8 inches more dig depth or reach. Having that ability to have a little bit more span of the working envelope of the machine means we don't have to pick up the blade, we don't have to track the machine any more than we need to, and we're not disturbing the ground, let's say, for a residential property owner. We're only doing the work that needs to be done. Having that additional reach and dig depth is some nice flexibility for our customers.